almost Christmas. This is Pete, or Kenshin1913, and this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. Today I have a special guest.
Sakurmiko16.
Or my sister, Vicky. Yeah, so today we're going to be making Vicky, she makes some delicious peanut butter and jelly bars.
Yep. Okay, we're going to be making peanut butter and jelly bars. They're something I make for Christmas, a nice dessert. We're going to need a cup or 2 sticks of margarine.
Mm-hmm.
Softened. I'll show you how I soften them. Sugar.
Sugar, yep.
Flour.
Flour.
Vanilla.
Yep.
1 egg.
1 egg.
Baking powder. Make sure it's baking powder, not baking soda.
Yeah, make sure it's baking powder, not baking soda.
I use the mixed peanut butter and jelly because I just find it easier, but you could just use
peanut butter and jelly, yes.
And it could be your favorite peanut butter and jelly, and I have some confectioner's sugar for later.
Powdered sugar, yes.
Yep.
Okay. And eggs, did you say eggs?
Yes.
Of course. Okay.
Alright, so first we're going to add 1 cup of sugar into this mixer.
Yeah, because the first thing we're going to be doing, well, you need a mixer. And we have an awesome KitchenAid.
But you could mix it by hand, or you can mix it with a hand mixer in a bowl.
Because this is basically going to be something we're going to throw in the oven and cook.
Yes.
So the first thing we need to make,
sugar.
I'm sorry to keep kind of jumping in, but we're basically, the first thing we're going to do is make 2 little things of dough so that we can have the bottom and the top. So she's gonna, first thing she wants to do is put in what? 1 cup of sugar?
1 cup of sugar.
1 cup of granulated sugar. And you make sure with baking, you gotta really make sure that you're doing.
You can be a little off, but you have to be pretty precise.
Yeah, you have, with
it's okay if you're a little off.
With baking, it's more like chemistry.
That's why I'm good at it.
Yeah, baking.
I'm pretty good at chemistry.
Yeah, so you kind of have to have chemistry for this. Like cooking, like you can always throw in a dash of this and a dash of that. But baking, you got to be more precise because if you mess up a little bit, it could really go. You know what I mean? So now, how many eggs are we adding?
Just 1 egg.
1 egg. Nice.
I got it all over me.
All right, we got 1 egg and the sugar.
And you always mix your sugar, butter, and eggs
together, right?
Or and your vanilla.
Yeah. Because that's the wet ingredients, right? Yes. No. Is it?
Yes, it's a wet ingredient. So also if you had to like add water or something, but this recipe does not call for water.
So what's the next thing we gotta throw into this mixture?
I'm gonna put in the vanilla, 1.5 teaspoons.
1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, not tablespoons, because that's quite a bit.
Yes.
So as you can see, what she's doing there, pouring it in. 1. And then, yeah, this is a nifty little thing that we have.
They're little measuring spoons.
Yeah. These are like what
you
my
can find them
anywhere, really. Yeah. Probably. Baking area. You can also, get whatever.
Now I'm going to soften the butter.
Now, how do you do that? What's your secret?
My secret is to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Because when I first got interested in baking, when I was in high school, I would be impromptu, so I wouldn't always have, like, soft butter out. So I would be like, I don't really want to wait for it to get soft, so I just put it in the microwave for... You could check. I'm going to try 25, because this has been out for a little while.
Yeah.
But you could... I wouldn't microwave it for more than 40 seconds, so then you don't want your butter to burn or anything.
Now, do you just do it, you do it in the case, right? You don't even take it out
of because I find it to be easier. It's less of a mess.
Uh-huh. And yeah, so this is usually one way that, like for my cornbread episode, I did microwave my my butter as well, only for about 30 seconds.
Okay. And if you have to microwave it and you have butter with a foil wrap, do not put it in the microwave.
Yeah, no foil in the microwave. That will just set it ablaze.
It's very soft. And I'm just gonna scoop it with a spoon.
Yeah, make sure to... Now, this recipe is probably one of the more... Well, it's not too difficult. It's one of the more... Well, it's the first true baking, I guess, episode, like... But yeah, it's this one can get a little. This is like an intermediate class today because we're actually baking, and I know a lot of people don't really bake. But this is something.
We make this around the holidays.
Yeah, we make this cookie around the holidays. When did you start making this? Like
when I was in high school, yeah,
like
about 5 or 6 years ago.
5, 6 years ago, and she made it because she got like this. She got like this cookie book from my mom. And,
right, and there's some butter that ended up in the bowl. I'm just gonna pour it in.
Yeah, she ended up getting this cookie recipe from my mom, or this cookie book from my mom, and she just kind of wanted to try out all these.
Now we're gonna blend it until it's smooth. I wanted to try out some of the recipes, and this was a recipe that looked really good and turned out to be very delicious. So you just want to wait for all that to get mixed together, and since the butter's so soft, it's gonna be very easy to mix together. And I don't even need to scrape the bottom with a spatula because it's mixing so nicely, but if you're gonna hand use a mixer, you might have to do that. The dough could also get a little tough to mix once you start adding the flour with a hand mixer, so be really careful when you do that. So now this is smooth.
Is this ready?
It's ready. It's
so
smooth.
just mix till smooth, basically.
Yes, until everything's combined, it's pretty uniform.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop it. Now we're gonna need half a teaspoon.
And what happens? Let me ask you this: what happens if you might have mixed it a little too long? What would you usually do?
There's no reason. You can't really mix it too long. I mean, it'd just be wasting your time, sort of. But you can't really mix it for too long. It can't. Yeah.
So what's next?
So half a teaspoon of baking powder.
Baking powder. Can't stress this enough.
Baking soda, because we've had mix-ups in the past and cookies have come out ruined or not as good as they're supposed to be.
So that is what,
half a teaspoon.
A half a teaspoon. Now we gotta add flour.
Yep, 2.5 cups. I add it in little increments. So at first I'm gonna measure out 2 cups.
So yeah, back when my sister was going in high school, she got this cookie book, and we made all kinds of really delicious cookies. This one was one of the ones that stuck a little bit more. There were other ones like these orange. The orange cream one was really good too. But I forget what other cookies you made, but they all of them were very, very delicious. And baking is not that hard. Like people tend to try to make baking out too hard, but it's actually quite easy and fun if you.
Yeah, because you have to be precise, but you don't have to be perfect. Yeah, you just can't add too much or too little. So I'm gonna add about 1/3 of this in and start to mix it so that way my mixer does not get overwhelmed. I would definitely recommend adding very small amounts if you're doing this with a hand mixer or mixing it manually, because it gets dough can be really hard to mix. So I'm gonna add some more, another 1/3 of it.
I'm just gonna let it keep mixing.
Yeah, and you want to add it like when the flour starts to get really incorporated, so that way you don't overwhelm the mixer. And I'm going to add the last 1/3, and I'm going to measure out another half a cup.
Yeah, because she only put 2 cups in here. So you just want to let this dough continue to mix. Whoops. Did I hit something? Ah, poopy. I hit a white balance button by accident. No, I want this one. No, whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to add the last half a cup.
Alright, we just added the last half a cup of flour.
Okay, you just want to make sure everything's all mixed together. It's all even. You don't really see any flour stuck to the bottom or to the sides. You want it all to be the dough color. So Now it's all set. I'm going to stop it. And what you do now is you gather it all up and you make it into a ball and you split it into 2 pieces.
Yeah, so you're going to use your spatula here. Here, go ahead.
Scrape it off, like if you're using your hand mixer or whatever.
Or by yourself or your hand, yeah.
With
just
a spoon,
scrape it off.
Just get all of it into a big ball.
Yeah, so what, you need to roll this out, or you're just going to roll this into a ball?
I'm just going to roll it into a ball because you have to let it chill for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want to make sure you get as much off of the spatula as you can. Then scrape the sides. Get all the dough together.
Mm-hmm.
You could just,
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
I usually like to eat raw dough. It's just delicious. I mean,
it's not recommended since there's raw eggs in it, but you can have a little bit.
Screw you at
I'm gonna take
FDA
the bowl off the
or whatever
mixer, so the mixer doesn't get.
So yeah, Christmas holiday traditions. Usually, what our family likes to do, like we usually do, we cook a lot of cookies. We do a lot of cookies, and for Christmas Eve, since we're Italians, we usually do the
seven fish.
The festival or the Feast of the Seven Fish, where basically we quote unquote fast for the day by eating no meat and we eat fish. So what about if the it's pretty workable, this dough,
yeah,
or what?
It's soft. It's
like
a little
describe
sticky,
the
but
texture.
Not too sticky. It makes your hands a little greasy because of all the butter you use.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just make it into a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. And then you're gonna break this ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it
into 2 parts.
You can put it back into the bowl if you're using a bowl.
Or since we have
this nice Formica. I'm gonna split it in 2. And it doesn't have to be perfectly split in 2.
Yeah, because one, like I said in the beginning of the episode, one part's going to be the top, one part's going to be the bottom.
Just make it into a
ball. And
ball
at this
again.
point, since
we're going to wrap it in saran wrap and put it in the fridge.
Yeah. And how long does this baby have to stay in the oven?
Fridge for an hour.
For 1 whole hour.
In the refrigerator, has to cool.
Yeah, because the butter needs to kind of congeal back up or whatever. So what we're going to do is finish wrapping these dough balls, and basically when we come back, we're going to have the dough all ready to go, and we're going to preheat our oven to 325.
Yeah, it's not the regular 350.
Yeah, so that's kind of important, just to, as you're making cookies, always prep your oven with the old preheat. So yeah. We'll be back in about an hour.
Okay, so we have our chilled dough. It's been chilled for an hour.
Yeah.
So we're going to unwrap one of them.
Excuse me. Alright, now over here we've already greased our 13 by 9 cooking pan with Crisco. So you're going to need that as well.
Yeah.
I will put that in there.
We're going to use this to...
So this is the bottom of our bar right here, this dough. And what we need to do now is roll it out. Now,
with some flour.
First thing you gotta do is put some flour and
spread some flour out onto your rolling surface.
You need a little bit on your rolling pin.
Put some on your dough.
Yeah.
And then
this is the secrets of baking right here. Flour.
Put some on your rolling pin, yes, because the flour doesn't let it stick. So.
So now you just gotta roll it out.
This doesn't have to be perfect either, because you could always...
Yeah, that's the beauty of this recipe, is you don't have to be perfect to do this.
You don't want to put too much flour. Sometimes I end up doing that, but scrape off some of this flour.
But yeah, you're gonna keep rolling it, so...
Yeah. And you want to flip it periodically, that way, your rolling pin doesn't get too sticky. And you want to change the directions. And you want to... I'm rolling it out into a circle. I'm going to try and do it into a square, because you want it to be the size of your pan.
If possible, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
You could always fix it when you get it into the pan.
Yeah. As I was saying, you kind of want to get it, like a a quarter of an inch thickness. Yeah. You gotta get those edges. But anyways, as I was saying, we'll show the first thing, but then for the layer, for the top, we won't show you rolling it out. We don't. But anyways, as I was saying, for Christmas traditions, usually our family is pretty big. You know, I got one brother, 2 sisters. You know, besides the 7 fish, we usually like to cook. Let me get this out of your way.
Thank you.
We usually like to cook a lot of Christmas cookies because you know it's the season to bake cookies. So what we like to do, some of our signature cookies are our sugar cookies. We make homemade sugar cookies from scratch, which eventually we will make an episode. We also make. How are you gonna get this off? You need a spatula.
Yeah,
We also make.
I do this as many ways because I only make it once a year, so.
So yeah,
It's okay if you break it. I think I'm gonna cut it in half and put it in the pan half and half.
So we also make like peanut butter cookies. We make snickerdoodles. We make all kinds of delicious cookies. Like my poor mom, she really gets put to work. But lately, these last couple of years, my sister's been doing it, and me and her have been working to the bone. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is take it.
It's not very. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beautiful thing about these bars is that even if you F up a little bit, they're still
I did.
Like you did, they're still gonna be delicious.
And they'll still come out right. You just want to make sure, like, if you have these little cracks, you want to push some
you want to put
dough.
like right here. There's a crack.
Yeah.
And crack is wax, so we don't want that.
Because you don't want you put your peanut butter and your jelly into.
Yeah, your insides to be all ickety on the rest of this thing. So what we need to do now?
Get the second half in.
Get the other half of this delicious cookie dough bar. It's less of a cookie and more of a bar. You really.
Yes,
it's alright.
Because it's so thin.
Yeah, because. Yeah. Screw it. Even if you got to do it. Even if you got to do it in pieces. See, this is
make sure
again, perfect example of why you don't have to be perfect to cook or bake. And like this is shit. You could just rolled it out and then just took it and just kind of press it in with your fingers.
Yeah, especially like if you have some places where it's, you think it's a little too thin.
Yeah, right
you could
there.
Just fix it. Hold on, I have extras. So
yeah, and so you kind of want to get it onto the sides too and everything. Because now, right here, you're going to need a little bit.
Yeah, let me do this corner here.
Because after this, basically what you got to do is we're going to fill it up with peanut butter and jelly, correct?
Yes.
Now, if you don't have the peanut butter and jelly mixture like we do, and you use regular peanut butter and jelly, like how do you do that?
You do a layer of jelly and then a layer of peanut butter. And then another layer of jelly. Which, when I first made it, I found it to be so hard to do. So I was like, screw this, I'm just going to get the peanut butter and jelly mixture. Which is, it's so convenient.
So now she's just kind of doing it like with the extra dough, she's kind of doing like a patch job here.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get it up on the edges a little bit so that way, it makes a bar, like the peanut butter and jelly is all contained.
Yeah, like I said, this is less of a cookie and more of a bar, but it's still delicious. And yeah, like I said, we make this for Christmas. Very delicious.
It's also, you could like, if you want to make
like if you this
a
would be
treat
a good
for a kid.
Yeah, this would be a perfect like kids recipe because you know what, everyone grew up. Well, at least most people grew up that I know. They grew up on peanut butter. Well, they grew up on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches as a child. I mean, who didn't have peanut butter and jelly? Like you know what? I'm gonna apologize now if you have peanut allergies because you are missing out on one delicious
If you
thing.
wanted to, you could just make jelly.
Yeah.
If you have a peanut allergy.
Yeah. The jelly would be, and you can use all kinds of jelly. Now you don't have to use grape jelly.
Yes.
That's another beauty of this recipe. I'm sorry, this is crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how.
Okay. Action.
So now I'm all done setting the bottom part. So we're gonna put it back in the refrigerator for 10 minutes and let it sit for 10 minutes.
Let it sit for 10 minutes.
And then we're gonna put the peanut butter and jelly in.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so now the dough is chilled for 10 minutes, and the reason you chill it is so that the dough gets a little firm. That way the peanut butter and jelly won't, because you're going to be spreading it out. That way the dough won't be too soft and malleable.
Yeah.
Right,
now,
so here's the peanut butter and jelly.
Here's the peanut butter and jelly put together in one jar, which is awesome. I think it's awesome. This is, all right, I'll give a shout out to Smuckers. They make delicious jelly. Hands down. Delicious jelly. But their peanut butter is something, not the best peanut butter, but it's still pretty good. I mean, what do you expect by getting 2 in 1? So what you want to do is empty the contents
of the entire
jar. Yes, you're going to be
using
one whole jar of peanut butter and jelly. Now, if you were doing peanut, do you know how many ounces or whatever of the other of each?
This is an 18-ounce jar, so I would say, actually, I don't think
1/4 a cup of creamy peanut butter, and where's the jelly? 1/2 cup of jelly, any flavor. So you're using a little more jelly to peanut butter, but still. Man, I love peanut butter and jellies. Damn, it smells so good. Like, again, I apologize for anyone who has peanut allergies and they're just watching it because you're like, what is this guy doing? So what you want to do is kind of spread the mixture. I
also really like, because the layers, for one, it was really hard to do for me. And I'm no, beginner baker. I'm, maybe not intermediate, but I'm definitely not a beginner. It was really hard for me.
Yeah, because the very first time she did this, she actually did it with peanut butter and jelly, and it was pretty difficult.
And it ends up being mixed up anyway. Yeah. It doesn't really stay in the layers. It just
smells so good. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter.
So I'm just trying. Now that I've got it spread out, I'm just trying to make it a little more even.
Yeah, peanut butter is hands down one of my favorite foods. It's damn, I love Reese's Pieces. Those Reese's peanut butter eggs that you get for Easter, those are the best ones, man. And now they make trees like that for Christmas time, so.
Okay, so now it's all spread out.
Yeah, and during the 10-minute pause, intermission kind of thing, my sister already rolled out the next layer. So now what you want to do, in case you didn't roll out the next layer, is roll it out.
The next layer.
I'm going to
do it again in pieces.
Same thing, basically a quarter inch thickness. Had a brain fart.
This is going to be a little more difficult.
Now, hold on.
Than doing the bottom.
Action.
This is going to be a little more difficult than doing the bottom since it's got to be in pieces. So you want to push on the edges.
Yeah, you don't want to...
even if there are cracks on the top, if you can get them closed, that's fine. But if you can't, that's fine too. It's okay. So I'm going to do my best to do strips.
Yeah, so... And cover what kind... Let me ask you this. What is this crust? Is it more of a... Because I haven't had it in a while, I'm not going to lie. Is it more of do you remember if it was more like a flaky crust, or how did this bad boy come out? It's a little
bit like a bread dough. A little bit. I'm going to put this down here now in the corner.
But, yeah, this
it's like
is
a sweet bread dough almost. This is not... I can't really say it's a bread dough because, we didn't use everything that's in a bread dough. But it reminds me of a sweet bread dough. Yeah,
if anyone lives in the Northeast, they'll know about the winter of 2011, last year at least, January and February, and how the Northeast got pummeled with snow and wind. It was seriously the worst winter ever it was the worst winter I've ever seen. And actually, our family got so, I won't say bored, but we were just
a little stir crazy.
We were a little stir crazy because we were inside the whole time because you really can't go out in 12 inches of snow and 24 inches of snow, 2 feet of snow. So we kind of stood around, and what we did was my mom, we had this baking book for bread, and basically what we did was we just baked bread. We literally baked bread. That's how.
Came out
damn
really
it.
good.
I keep hitting the white balance. I'm sorry, people. If this is going crazy. I'm holding it at a different angle. But yeah, the bread was delicious. But back to Christmas things, like as I was mentioning before, we do make a lot of delicious Christmas cookies, like vanilla loaf.
My favorite are to make are snickerdoodles.
Yeah, snickerdoodles are one of my favorites.
I just love rolling them in the
cinnamon sugar. Yeah, that's fun. My favorite to make is probably the sugar cookies because
those are also really good.
Those are like cutout. The way we make them is we do cutouts. So my mom has these cookie cutouts, and we just kind of cut them out, and then we use an egg white. Eventually, sometime down the road, I'll probably have an episode on how to do that. But for the time being, you guys are just gonna have to be like, oh, those cookies sound so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also fun because it's really fun to do with kids because they can cut them out and then they can decorate them.
Yeah. You get all kinds of sprinkles because you put like an egg wash on top, and you put all kinds of sprinkles or whatever. And then
that's because that's what we used to do with our mom as children. She would let us help her bake the.
Now, just this, you're not patting down too much.
No, I'm not.
Like on the center there.
No, but I am pressing a little bit on the side just to make like a seal. Because remember I pushed the sides up a little bit just so you make like a bar.
So now we're gonna now that she'll probably just like make it a little pretty. Well, it actually looks fine to me.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's very not pretty. But it will still come out to be very delicious.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is throw this in a 325-degree oven for what?
35 minutes.
Okay.
Or until golden brown.
So yeah. So we'll be back.
Don't burn it.
We'll be back when it's done.
Alright, so this is what it looks like after 35 minutes in the oven. The crust, the edges are really nice and golden brown. And it's also cooled for an hour. That's why I can pick up the pan.
Yeah.
So now we're going to make the first cuts.
Yeah, now you gotta be very careful here with this thing, with the bar, because it's very, very hot inside.
Yes, don't cut it once it comes out of the oven. Let it cool down completely.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the hot jelly and peanut butter to fall out.
Burn your mouth. Now, there's one thing that we forgot to throw in here, and it's just to make it a little sweeter if you wanted to. When you're putting the peanut butter and the jelly in the middle, you can add a little bit of confectionery sugar to make it a little sweeter.
On top, just powder on top. But
yeah.
We did forget, but you don't need it.
Alright, now we're taking out the first piece, which is always the toughest, yes. And it's the corner piece, of course. Use a spatula or something.
It's not going to come out with a spatula.
And look at that, huh? Usually we plate it, but I guess Vic's hand's good enough. Okay, as you can see, look at our delicious peanut butter and jelly bars, huh? Whoa, they're breaking up. They're so damn delicious. See? Look at the peanut butter and jelly inside. It's gonna be yummy. So yeah, it's a nice cookie. Even the crust is delicious. I love peanut butter. Now again, you can use any jelly that you want.
Yes.
Raspberry jelly, strawberry jelly, whatever.
Blackberry.
But yeah, this is delicious. So this has been another cooking with Kenshin. This has been another cooking with Kenshin1913, and I've been Pete.
And I've been Sakuramika16, Vicky, his sister.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next cooking with Kenshin1913.
I hope you enjoy the peanut butter bars.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.